Okay. So, hey guys, another week, another update. So, due to the nature of the banners that were shown before the patch went up, I'm going to do that thing where I talk about them before I do my actual video content. So we'll start off with the first banner here. You know, just a nice casual segue. We have the another Haro Chip campaign, a battle circuit support, so we get stuff for the circuit. They really need to be giving us alternation tools though. I don't mind like the 10 rolls and stuff like that, but like they really need to be giving us more of those tools, frankly. But anyways, moving on. We have the sales because, you know, it's almost Black Friday and, you know, Thanksgiving at the same time in North America, so this makes sense. That's cool. Beyond that, these are really nice looking. So first of all, you will definitely get an exclusive 5-star level 80 part. If this is just like a single multi-roll and you're guaranteed, I'd say that's worth it. You get a limited part for just a guaranteed multi, 10 out of 10. We have the popular Revival Sokai. I recommend, you know, only rolling this if you really have to. The pool is going to be extremely diluted with all the suits that are in it. And I would also double check that the oh wait, no, this is a 5-star part guarantee. This isn't a 5-star ticket. So yeah, never mind. Don't roll this unless you have excess horror that you literally have nothing to do with. So Sokai Festival, 1 round step up. I'll actually probably roll this on stream. So nice. You get a guaranteed 5-star pickup from one of the 2 suits. And then they did the alternation capsule again. I hate that so much. They've locked the alteration behind either you pay or you do the battle circuit. So if you can't do the battle circuit, your only step of progression is paying. So, is what it is. And obviously we all saw the Benager build project here, the civilian clothes. So, stat-wise, he sits at a very balanced shot and melee attack. And he's actually got 3 job licenses, which is new. So long and short for this, you have mid shooter, you have outfighter, you have a very high melee attack, very high shot attack. And then we have pro tag ace exclusive, the 2 best tags for those. And then middle shooter job shooting power is boosted by, I would assume, 30%. And then when you actually alternate them up, he also gets a melee power boost. So whether you have him as a outfighter or you have him as a middle shooter, so either of his job tags, you're getting a boost to your primary stat. Arguably, he's probably going to be the best build project for everyone to do, just because he is so flexible in like all the He's super flexible. Whether you put him into a shot build or a melee build, he brings at least 1 excellent word tag, 1 excellent part trait, and great stats. As for the double part trait, that just gives him more flexibility, as it means you can put him kind of wherever you need to. So, yeah. I figured build projects would eventually end up here. I didn't think it'd be so soon. So, yeah, if you want kind of like a one-size-fits-all pilot solution to invest into, he's it. He's not the best in slot by any means, but you invest in him, you got a pretty good pilot for your shot build or your melee build. What am I drinking? I'm drinking some nice whiskey. I got a glass of that. I got a small bowl of dried fruit because I like both of these things, and together they're also really good. So, anyways, yeah, I decided to just kind of start the stream early, talk about the few little banners that they leaked. I'm really interested to see what that 1500 Haro Chip campaign is, as well as the what the Haro chipsets actually are. See what the deals are like. Healthy. Hey man, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? All right, what are we looking at here? How close are we to banner change? Oh, wow, hey, look at that. GBGW. Guess what time it is, guys? Time to hop in game and figure out exactly what's up. Hey, Matt, pretty good. You? I did pre-download. I actually did that about 30 seconds before I clicked go live. So, yeah, we're good. Don't worry about me, dog. Alright, let's see what we got. As always, we're going to do the welfare and the gacha stuff, and then we'll look at the alterations and whatnot. Do they have anything on here about that 1500 Haro bit? Don't see it on here. Maybe it just hasn't been added yet. Anyways. So, let's get that welfare cracking. The Mudrock. Yeah, that's right. You missed the other part of Menager being the first triple tag unit. Is he actually triple tag? I only saw the 2 tags on him when I was Pro Tag Ace exclusive. I don't see a 3rd word tag on him. So, oh wait. Okay. Let me bring up my thing here real quick. Actually, you know what? I'll just look at it in game. No point looking at it here. Let's go look at that first. It's actually kind of interesting because when I was looking at the actual specs for Menager there, okay, where the fuck is he? There you are. Actually, wait, it was only on his alternated version. I'm actually really curious now because there was like a little blur at the bottom that almost looked like it could actually be a 3rd word tag. So I'm now just very, very curious. Is he a permanent? There's no way he's a permanent. Wow, he is actually a permanent. Nice. Bring up the info. Okay, no, so it's just smudging at the bottom there. Okay, I saw that on the screenshot and I'm thinking like, is it actually a triple word tag unit? That's nuts. And it's not. Good. So, let's go look at that welfare and get this cracking. Thanksgiving Castle is 150 HC for 1 part. Well, I'll get there when I get there. So, anyways, Unit 6 coin, the Gundam Unit 6 Mudrock. Well, Federation, long shot attack raised. So that doesn't actually refer to long shot job or long shooter. That refers to your distance from the enemy. And again, to my knowledge, it only affects neutral shots, not EX skills or the like. So, Federation Gundam type. Shot attack is actually relatively high for a welfare. That's actually not bad for a welfare. Okay. Cool. Don't really like the trait. The word tags kind of have me Stats are okay on the head though. While your long shooter job, enemy EX skill penetration reduced. So that's pretty much the counter to EX skill pierce. Surprise. It's player dependent really whether or not you think that's good. Personally, I don't think it is. But you know what, whatever floats your boaty. Stat wise, really nothing to write home about. He does have a decent amount in the defense department, shot defense department. But even that, well, actually, let's see, 1500 shot defense. If you port that over, that's like 500 or so. About 1000 shot attack at 60. Okay, that's a little higher than average because we normally see about 800 on welfare torsos. So okay, you know what, I'll take that. I'll take that. Not really a fan of the trait. Again, not really a fan of the word tags. It does have a decent amount of shot attack for a welfare torso after you use a change gear, which may be out of most beginner players' range. But yeah, Traits basically for that one occasion the arena wants Federation. You're not wrong. Melee damage raise, shot guidance boost. I'll say it as I do in every video, in case you're new. The top line is a demerit to yourself, and it's the trigger activator. It's never going to be in your favor. So in this scenario, melee damage raised 10%. You are taking 10% more damage with this part on. Melee damage, specifically. Shot guidance is practically worthless. So, not worth it. Federation, Gundam type again. Stat-wise. Looking at about just over 1,000 shot attack again. Okay. That's not that bad for a welfare, honestly. Torso and the arms have decent shot attack. They're easily outdone by anything in the 4-star pick ticket pool, but for a welfare, okay. Not a fan of the word tags. Have you not played Battle Circuit? So I've made no small effort in hiding that I don't really find a ton of enjoyment in the Battle Circuit. It's purely the amount of effort I put into the rewards I get out of it. I have a lot of stuff I do outside of GBGW. I did the first one because it was new and it was interesting, but after that I kind of just sat back and was like, you know what, it's not worth me spending 3, 4, 5 hours figuring out the right builds for my suits and getting some rewards back from it. So frankly, it's an interesting mode and I hope people enjoy it because it is good, it is content, but it's not for me. I find that the rewards personally aren't worth the amount of effort I put in. With technique attribute, long shot attack raised. See what I said about the head regarding that. Stat-wise, again, we're pushing over 1k shot attack. Federation, long range. Long range is pretty much like another high firepower, more or less. You get that 5% shot boost. Federation, backpack. Do the circuit just for alto tools and badges. I do what I can. If I get bored while doing it or I find it's just not worth it, I just kind of stop, because even if I only get a couple alteration tools per, the chance of me seeing something I really want to alternate, like from the available parts I have, I'm not terribly concerned about it. Alright, again we're looking at 1,000 shot attack, 300mm cannon, B power, okay. Not a cutscene. Physical shot as well. Okay. For a welfare, that's not a bad not a bad EX skill, because it does have B power on it. However, for shot machines for the back, for physical shots specifically, this is directly competing against the Strike Noir. Granted, the Strike Noir is not readily available to new players, but it's going to do better than this in general. Overall, 1,000 shot attack, B power, it's okay. For a welfare part, it's okay. I say that loosely. Sad it's not a magazine type. They learned their lesson with that Strike Noir back, man. The chance of us ever seeing something like that in a welfare, very slim. Very, very slim. Wall Federation, special shot crit rate boost. So crit rate, not the most amazing thing that you want to invest into. Special shot is only usable by mid shooter and long shooter. And that's when you hold down the shot button and your character does, or your suit does the weapon specific animation. If you're using a bazooka, you'll charge a shot and you'll fire it. It staggers, AoE, all that. If you're using a beam rifle, fires a long concentrated beam forward. Things like that. That's special shot. So, yeah, no. Not very useful. Federation Gundam type, shot attack 35. Oh, that's actually decent shot attack again for a welfare. Okay. Tag's not really that great. Trait's not really that great. Stats are passable for a welfare. Alright, what about the shield? Is this the best welfare ever? No. God, no. Okay. With technique attribute self, shooting crit rate boost. Again, like I said before, crit rate, not the best thing to invest into. However, this is a general crit rate. This is for shooting in general, meaning your neutral shots, special shots, EX skills, all that now have a chance to crit. Again, I still don't think it's really worth investing a lot into, but if you lack any better options, this may be something you put in. I wouldn't go out of my way for it though. Federation long range and 22, that's what, 7? What's 700? Okay. So you're looking at about 200 melee attack, about 700 shot on that. So that's okay. You know, overall, Mudrock is definitely a shot-oriented suit. I'm not really a fan of most of the traits on it. It has one decent EX skill for welfare. But overall, I don't really think it's anything like stand out, frankly. So let's look at Agar. Long shooter, cool. All ranged weapon magazine boost. I don't think that's that useful, personally. Federation long range shot attack that's like what, 796 or something like that pre. So yeah, not really feeling it. Get them for the completion, or you know, if you really like them. That's pretty much what I judge them as. What do we have in general in the item shop here? Okay, technique chip, mass production, federation, commander, transformer, and 4 desert. That's an interesting pool. Okay. Cool. So now we're gonna pop on over to the gacha. Take a look at that. Hunter, did you get my question? We lost Troa Barton for. I don't see a question from you here, my guy. Did you? I don't really have a good way to filter the chat, unfortunately. So, Kirby Morrow. Don't know who that is. Anyways, let us get cracking. So we have the Phenex. We have the 7 sword. We'll start with the 7 sword because I kind of want to finish off on the Phenex and, you know, do my 10 roll after all this is over. So, here's hoping it's a good suit. Anyways. While close combat, EX skill power boost. Extremely easy to activate close combat, like extremely easy, and get an EX skill power boost. It's really nice. You're looking at close combat Gundam type. Gundam type can be convenient depending on your build, but the big one is close combat. That's a very nice melee tag to get. Very easy to activate alongside pro tag on melee suits. Nice. What are we looking at here for stats? You're looking at what, 5? Just under 5, 4 change? Okay. So you're looking at just over 4k shot attack and about 1600 melee attack. It's got some decent stats. It's got a nice trait to it. It's got those word tags. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that. All right, Hunter, I appreciate, but that's not a question. Kirby Morrow. Oh, he was the English actor for Troa Barton. Well, that's why I didn't watch the English dub, so I had no idea about that name. So all I can say is big F in chat. Always sucks to lose a voice actor, but it's bound to happen eventually, right? Yeah, it's not a question, it's a statement. No wonder I couldn't find a question from him. There wasn't one. With speed attribute self, buff EX skill up effect by 22%. Close combat, high mobility. Okay. So, you get about 500 from there, 13. 500-ish from there, 18. Okay. So, for a torso, looking at amazing offensive stats. This is going to be pushing like 1800 melee attack, 1300 shot. It's got close combat and high mobility. Both of those are serviceable tags. Definitely the close combat. High mobility is the serviceable one between the two. Only has so many uses. Beyond that, though, the part trait is not really that great in my opinion. I find that buff EX skill up does not really contribute much. So, up to you whether or not you think it's good. I don't think it is, personally, so. Each to their own, though. I know some people disagree with how I view specific traits and whatnot, so. Makes sense, high mobility. Yeah, you're not wrong, right? In lore, it makes a lot of sense. I just don't like the word tag. When buffed, melee power boost. Oh, 0 armor. That's a danger zone right there. Okay, so while buffed, melee power boosted, it's very easy to get buffed. Most cutscene EX skills will supply you a buff. You have all of the awakenings, which are buffs. And you obviously have buff type EX skills, which are buffs. Surprise. So, very easy to activate, and you get a pretty juicy return from it. Stat distribution wise, you're looking at about, what, 4,400 melee attack overall and about 1,300 shot attack. It's quite healthy. Close combat Gundam type. Gundam type is a nice word tag to have for melee builds. Close combat, obviously more so. Okay. I like it. I don't really like the 0 armor, but you should also be playing this game with the mentality of just don't get hit. Okay. Decent arms, though. Decent arms. It is a Sokai, so. Okay, what do we got here? So a 2100 melee attack, 1200 shot, not bad. Close combat, high mobility makes a comeback. Non-cutscene, B plus power. Now this falls into that category of this comes off as the type of EX skill where you enter into an animation right in front of you when you cast it, meaning you are just asking for something to come and beat the living daylights out of you, putting it nicely. So, yeah. It is the double saber shear. We know the skill, it's existed on other parts. Not good. Okay, moving along. The stats are good. Word tags definitely usable. EX skill. Moving right along. The double O legs are the same as the technique Exia. Shocker. It's almost like this is pretty much the Exia. It's a real thinker. Okay. Buster combination. Ah, here we go. A cutscene EX skill. A power. Get a melee attack boost, melee defense boost, close combat, high mobility. You're looking at about 2k melee attack, 1200 shot. Okay. Here's the pickle, right? Here's the rub. So this backpack, once we alternate it, will most likely have S rank power. Nice. However, and this is kind of depends on how you want to play the game, however, we already have backpacks that can be alternated where the EX skill is just an offensive boost. And what that means, you look at these numbers, you have 29%, right, for the primary stat boost. If it was alternated, it would bump up to, I think it's 39%. Sounds about right, 10% gain. But if it was just melee attack and it didn't have that secondary stat boost as well, it would actually go as high as 49%. And we already have EX backs that go there, and you can alternate. So, pre-alternate, yeah, it's nice. You get yourself a melee boost, you get yourself your cutscene EX skill, it's cool. There's a ton of alternatives for this in the Sokai pool, however, so it's not really a you gotta roll this because it's the best or anything. It's, it's up to you. If you like the EX skill, you like the suit, whatever, cool, you're getting a decent part. But when it comes to the alteration aspect of it, I don't think I'm going to like it, but we'll get there when we get there. Everything else looks nice. It's got stats, it's got the tags again, but yeah, and pre-alternate, nice. Don't go out of your way for it, though, because, again, it's a dime a dozen in the Sokai pool, frankly, for melee. Oh. When armor is 60% or more, job gauge increase boost. No. Once we get that job license skill rebalance that they were talking about, that might change and job licenses may be more useful to trigger and activate, but until we get to that point, who cares? Alright, melee attack 5202, healthy. Close combat Gundam type, okay, workable. And some armor, okay. Pair of swords, that's for sure. They're dual swords. You have to compare them to the Gerber Straight Tiger Pierce. In terms of stats, I'm pretty sure they come out on top, but in terms of everything else, they're going to be kind of lagging pretty far behind. You could make the argument that they are able to be alternated. The Gerber Straight Tiger Pierce is not. That'd be a pretty fair argument to make. Thing is, these are Sokai. Gerber Straight Tiger Pierce is not. It adds a lot of value. A lot of value. For the general populace, anyways. It's a good pair of swords. Good pair of swords. Not great. Good. For sure good. Every time I watch this stream, I crave pretzels. Man, I love pretzels. I love pretzels a lot. But that's too much salt. So, maybe I'll do a stream later with pretzels or something. Because I think there's still a bag of like rolled gold downstairs. I'm pretty sure there is, actually. No. I finished it off. Damn. I'm gonna have to go buy some. And more whiskey. This was the last of it. Anyways. Moving along. Where did we wrap up? We wrapped up on the weapons. So now we're on the big weapon. Oh, hey. Look at that. I remember saying I was pretty sure that EX would somehow be focused around the Buster. Look at that. It's almost like I can see the future. But not really, anyone could guess that. Anyways, moving on. Half of this stream is salt. Okay, fair. Is there a suit you want for Sokai or want to come out? I've been very lucky in that the Kshatriya came out relatively early in the game's life cycle. Meaning I got to get most of it pretty quickly. And then I had to spend like another 40k later to finish it. But regardless, I've got the number one suit that I really, really wanted. Beyond that, I want the gold frame Amatsumina custom. More specifically, the actual further enhanced version of that, which I don't think is going to come to this game for a very long time, the Amaterasu. My fingers are crossed. I do hope it comes. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to be surprised. But if it does, you are more or less guaranteed a Kshatriya level amount of salt. Those are dark times. Okay, moving on. Where are we here? B plus D. It's going to be a non-cutscene type, usually blah, 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 blah. Raise your melee attack by 29%. That makes me not very happy, but okay. Alright. 5202 melee attack, close combat, high mobility. You get your melee boost. Oh, what EX skill? There's one, I think it's on the Epion, where it's the same deal, where it's like a high output beam swing, you like charge it and you swing down. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same deal. In which case, not bad, but of course, like all other, non-cutscene EX skills that lock you into an animation, you're just asking to be set up on, whether by another EX skill or whatever, so... close combat, high mobility, it's got decent stats. There's really like nothing to write home about on this. It's a good sword. Again, it's good. Not like jaw-dropping you need it, but it's good. You get it, cool. If you don't, you'll survive. Unless you really like the 7 sword. Matsumina comes soon. Like, we have the Amatsu Gold frame, which I'm kind of surviving with. I really hope we do get the full customized version of the Amatsumina. Be real nice. But I would prefer the Amaterasu if I had to pick one, obviously. I like the thematic aspects of it a lot more. I assume, though, for Christmas, around that area, whether it be Christmas or New Year's, we're going to see the Snow White Prelude. It's more or less guaranteed that's going to come out at this point. We had the promotional material earlier this year. It looks really good, and I know a lot of people would roll a lot for it, because it is a fancy friggin' suit. Oh, okay. Epion legs, max output EX. Yeah, that sounds about right. I know it was the Epion because it was in that first battle circuit where it kept using it and it was a pain in the arse. Anyways, while close combat, EX skill power boosted by 30%. Again, very easy to activate close combat. That's a nice trait to have. Good activation, 10 out of 10, all that fun stuff. Okay, not 10 out of 10, like 9.5 out of 10. Close combat, Gundam type, stat-wise. Just under 5k total shot attack. Okay. Interesting. That's pretty much all I got to say, but actually I'm curious here. That was it. Yeah, it was a melee type one. Yeah, okay. I'll have to, I think this is probably going to be one of those, like, just over 10k, or maybe, no, that's 8.4? It's going to be 9.8k, isn't it? Sounds about right. Yeah. The problem is, right, like, the trait's really nice because you get an EX skill power boost for close combat, but you don't really want to invest into this that heavily to the point of alternating it if you're a melee, because, you know, it doesn't really do much in the melee department. Like, it has token melee offensive stats, securely on like a 1k, but that's not really a make or break, typically. You'd care a lot more about investing for other reasons, but we'll see what it looks like when it's alternated. Maybe it brings enough. We'll see. We'll see how they did the monster math. And the GN Sword 2 long rifle mode. Infighter job, initial EX skill charge boost. Okay, initial EX skill charge, convenient. Close combat, high mobility, stat distribution wise, yeah, no, it's pretty much the exact same as the previous weapon. Okay. Really just got a different trait to it. Well, overall, I'd say the 7 Sword is pretty much like what you'd expect from a Sokai these days. It's got good stats. It's got an interesting selection of EX skills and traits to it. The word tags are more or less thematic. Yeah. Cool. It's gonna suck looking at this thing alternated. It's really not like a make or break suit in its current form anyways, compared to what we've already seen in the Sokai pools. Gerber Straight Tiger Pierce has 9k damage. The thing is, right, Kevin, it's like, they're in the 4-star pick ticket pool. They have insane value because of that fact alone. Like, they bring a lot to the table, and they're excessively easy to get. So, it's kind of a wombo there. Always simping about the Gerber's trait. It's hard to not. Like, it's just a solid friggin' weapon. And, you know, couple it with the fact that it's in the, you know, the 4-star pick ticket pool. It's crazy. Like, that had to have been a mistake. That must have been, like, something for a limited. Anyways, Phenex narrative version. Yeah, this suit looks really neat. With rifle category equipped, very easy to get a rifle weapon these days. EX skill power boosts by 30%. Well, as I said with the 7 sword head, nice, very easy to activate. High firepower, high mobility. Okay, shot attack wise, so 4100-ish shot attack, 1200 melee. Cool. Okay. Head's nice for shooters. Okay. Okie doke. What do we got for the torso? NTD. Raise your speed by 20%, shot attack by 29, melee by 19. So this kind of falls into the same quagmire as the other thing did from the weapon on the 7 sword. It's not bad by any means, you know, the 29% boost and then a 39% boost after alteration is good, but we do have access to 49%. Granted, not in this banner, not right now, and if you don't have it, this is the next best thing. So, but each to their own, again, right? High firepower is exclusive. Arguably the 2 best word tags you'd want for a shot machine. Stat distribution, you're looking at, what, 4? Yeah, 4. So 1800 shot attack on about 1700-ish melee. Not bad. Not bad at all for a torso. So, nice. Nice. Man, my hair does not want to play well. I keep seeing it fucking doing its own jam. I hate using product, though, so. Okay. Nice torso. Let's keep going. Who needs freezing? Beam Tonfa. Okay, so literally exactly what the unicorn has, unless I'm mistaken. That's not an amazing EX skill. It's not a cutscene, B+ power, raise your speed, but it locks you into an animation. High firepower, high mobility. Stat distribution wise, you're looking at what, 1600-ish, 1700 shot attack. Melee, you're looking at about 4500-ish or so, 46. Okay. Really nothing to write home about. Yeah. No. It's a good pair of arms, but it doesn't really bring enough to warrant alteration. As a standalone part, though, it's nice. But as soon as you consider that it can be alterated, doesn't really bring as much value to obtain as other parts would on this suit. With high firepower, EX skill cooldown reduced. Very easy to activate high firepower. Works on melee and shot machines. 10 out of 10. High firepower is exclusive. 10 out of 10. Stat distribution, what are we looking at? We're looking at what? That's 4 change-ish? Yeah, so about 1250 or so shot attack. And about what, 1500-ish melee attack? 1600? Cool. Cool. Nice legs. Alright, let's keep going. 5. The backpack. Alright, let's take a look at this sucker. Phenex Wing, AD. You get a heal, and you get a physical resist. Oh, why'd you have to be physical resist? Oh. I like the heal. Heal's nice. Not so much a fan of the physical resist, obviously. It will get upgraded to S rank power, so it will still do a significant chunk of damage. However, the fact that its boost is not in an offensive category kind of impacts kind of what you can do with it. So, yeah. The heal is good. The heal is very good. Like, stupid good. But, yeah, I don't like that physical... Like, it makes sense. It's a pair of shields. So, it makes sense. But the lack of offensive boost kind of... High firepower, high mobility. Stat distribution-wise, pretty much actually the exact same as the previous part. So, it's got decent stuff. What the heck just spammed in there? Oh, that was the Japanese Twitter. Okay. Alright, so the stats are okay. The word tags are okay. EX skill... Okay. You know, I wish it was an offensive buff instead of a defensive one, but the heal is undeniable, and it will be S rank after we upgrade it. So, it looks cool at least. We can't reach the 69. That's not true. When we alternate it, that heal number may go up. And if it does go up, you may still be able to hit that number yet. Don't let your memes be dreams, gentlemen. Alright, what are we looking at here for weapon specs? 4868, cool. Nothing defensively, 1000 armor. Enemy melee power reduced. Blah. High firepower, high mobility. Okay. It does not bring anything terribly unique to the table. The word tags are nice, but because of the 6-star sub-slotting system, that does not really matter that much, because you would be investing a lot into this kind of weapon. You know, it's a Sokai part, so nice. And I'm not really that much a fan of the trait, considering you probably put this onto an offensive suit more than a support suit. But, you know, it's a nice support part. You really want to roll a Sokai for not your main suit, but hey, whatever, man, you do you. No judging. Alright, Beam Magnum. Alright, this is going to be a 10k breaker. With high firepower, shooting power boosted. That affects everything shot. Your physical shot, your beam shot, your neutral shot, your special shots. Shot. Everything. Cool. 10 out of 10. I like that. High firepower, it's exclusive. Awesome. Cool. It's pretty much an upgraded version of the Is it even an upgraded version, or is it the same? It's a damn good rifle. It's got your stats, it's got your EX skills, it's got your tags. Yeah. And can be boosted further with alteration. Okay, so overall between the two suits, the 7-star-G is a pretty interesting thing. The Phenex, definitely shot-oriented, interesting. I don't like some of the EX skill selections on it. Some of the traits are questionable. The main frame is usable though. Looks cool. The wings are definitely pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I would say either is really like worth rolling a ton on unless you really like the suits. We'll have to take a look at it all after alteration, but just on their own as 6-star parts, you know, okay. It's what we're expecting from a Sokai at this point. You know, it's kind of like that healthy baseline. Banshee Norn is what I think you're thinking of. Yeah, I have the beam rifle, I think, from the Banshee Norn. It looks pretty much exactly like what I just saw. So, anyways, let's take a look at our 2 new pilots for today. With Power Attribute debuff. No, debuff EX skill effect, not very convenient. I don't know if very many people that run debuffs, everyone's running buffs. Xeon, Commander, not very useful word tags. Stat distribution, you are an outfighter that has, that's like what, 800 something, 900 something, no, that's 1100 primary. For a welfare, that's pretty good. Outside of that, not really though. Okay. Roll if you like, otherwise don't bother. All right, let's look at Vincent. Oh, Vincey boy. Wow. Why did we get 2 Xeon pilots, man? What is this? Stat distribution. So you're looking at pretty much average shot attack. He's a mid shooter. Okay. Xeon high mobility. That trait is useless though. Okay. So the word tags, Xeon is more or less effectively useless outside of, obviously, the very specific arena situations or battle circuit situations. High mobility is only used in certain builds due to trigger activation for certain parts, high mobility tag. Stats are nothing blockbuster. He's a pilot. Alright, see, I changed it. It's not a pilot, it's a pilot. Haha. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, while I'm here, let's take a look. Somebody said this is, oh man, it's 150 for a guaranteed exclusive. All right, cool. And this one, okay. So it's pretty much what we expected. And then all that reset. All right. On to the fun part. Let's take a look at these alternated parts. I'm not gonna like this very much. I just realized debuff would be better than buff in the swap mode. You're actually right on that. This is one of those very rare scenarios where having a debuff defense EX is actually like top dollar. So thankfully those are abundant in 2-star and 3-star parts. So have fun. Anyways, alteration. Let's take a look-see. Okay, we'll start with the Phenex. Okay, with rifle category equipped, EX skill power boost. With technique attribute self, recover 2 hour. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to do the same thing I've done in all my previous videos when there's a limited time alteration up. Currently, alteration tools and items to do alteration are still scarce from the majority of the player base. With this in mind, it is recommended from me, in my opinion, that you should be very careful in what you pick to alternate. Be very picky, be very choosy, only go for the absolute best. If there is a bad trait, if the EX skill is not top-notch, those are primarily what you're investing into. Stats can always be modified, but you're not able to do much about the traits. So if you're losing like 100 or 200 stats versus another part, not a big deal. But if you're going to alternate a part and get a really crappy trait, like in this scenario here, I personally don't think it's worth it, as that is a huge investment in terms of alteration tools for a minimal return overall. You'd want to go for the ideal. If you're a player that constantly does all the battle circuits, has a ton of alteration tools laying around, you do whatever the heck you want. Doesn't matter. But for players that don't have that many options available to them, don't roll the alteration to a gacha, blah, 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 be picky. That's my opinion, though. Do whatever the heck you want. Anyways, I don't think this is a very good part to alternate, mainly just because, yeah, part trade 2, pretty much useless. Stat distribution, though, obviously it's going to be amazing. It was already good to start with, but with this boost further, it just kind of spirals out of control. So, yeah. I don't think I really have to tell you guys that the alteration process is effectively the like 6.5, 7-star system of this game. So your stats are going to skyrocket. So stats that were already, so high expected, good, are just going to end up even better. Because, yeah, there's really no question on that. Primarily, when we're looking at this here, is we're more or less just looking at what happens to the traits and EX skills, because that's really all that matters. The stats are obviously going to have a huge improvement. There's no debate about that. Yeah, it's mostly just, the other stuff. The Art of Marmusa. Been a long time. Yeah, lots of people stumble in here at weird hours, man. Don't forget about event exchange. Yeah, okay. Okay, so torso NTD, raise your speed by 20%, shot attack by 39, melee defense by 19. So as I said before, we do have not permanent access, but we do have access to other awakening type skills that do give you 49% of your primary offensive attribute. If you do not have access to this is still a very good alternative. You're getting amazing stats, amazing word tags, and obviously the EX skill is also amazing. Yeah. No real complaints on this part. If you were to alternate this, I can't really see too much of a complaint with it. Obviously, other than the fact that, it's 39% instead of 49%, but whoop-de-doo. That's kind of more of a min-maxer thing at that point, I think. Yeah, the Beam Tonfas, even though they go to A-, no thank you. You just get a huge stat boost from this. So again, because the EX skill is effectively a write-off, I don't think it's worth investing in that. Each to their own. The stats will be very good though. While high firepower, EX skill power, or EX skill cooldown reduced, and EX skill power boost on your back part. Both of those are very nice. But the second trait does require your back to not only be an EX skill, but to also be a high damaging EX skill and not an awakening or something like that. But you meet that requirement, which is relatively easy on both shot and melee machines, you're looking at a pretty formidable part. You're getting amazing stats, amazing word tags, nice traits. So the legs and the torso both get my seal of, yeah, I'd do it. Backpack, what do we got? We get, nope, 68%, doesn't go any higher than that, big oof. Physical resist flinching, S-rank power. This just kind of falls back into what I said before. My only complaint with this is that it is not an offensive buff, instead it is a huge heal and defensive buff. So this does rely on each individual player, whether or not they are okay with a defensive instead of an offensive buff. And if they are, go for it. Again, you got yourself amazing stats, a great EX skill. You do have one very powerful word tag and one situational word tag, but that is what the sub-slotting system is for. To correct those kind of mistakes, or problems, errors, whatever. You get my point. So really so far, just the head and the arms are kind of questionable. Let's look at the weapons. Melee power reduced, EX skill power boost when buffed. Unfortunately, I don't think that first part trait is going to be very handy. You'd want a more offensive-oriented one, in my opinion. Blast Cannon's the way to be these days. The second trait is very easy to activate, as it is extremely easy to get a buff. Again, whether through awakenings, an EX cutscene, you name it, there's lots of ways to do it. High firepower, high mobility, and obviously you get some stats. Frankly, I would still say this really isn't worth to do, as even after full tickets, you're still sub 10k. We know that there are past 10k offensive stat weapons, so when there's better available that has both good traits, higher stats, to me it's hard to justify, kind of dumping into this. But you like it, right? While high firepower, shooting power boosted, while ace exclusive, EX skill power boost. Both of those are going to be activated on a shot machine. 9 times out of 10. You have the 2 best war tags you could ask for on a shot machine, high firepower and ace exclusive, and you're looking at fat stats. You are literally spitting distance from 10k. Now, if I remember right, the 10k breakers were like 10,300 or something like that, around there. So you're not really going to be losing a ton of stats on this. You do get 2 amazing part traits versus the 1 from the previous weapon, which does offset the, oh no, I'm missing a few hundred points, I guess. Again, like I said before, even if you're short 1,000, the extra part trait will go the extra mile for you. I'd say, yeah, this is definitely also worth doing it. I think out of all the parts, actually, I'd recommend this one the most if you got your hands on it, as it does have the highest return value, in my opinion, out of all of them so far. 2 amazing word traits, great word tags, great stats. Nice, Phenex. You're not too bad. Not too bad. Good if you're on the ropes when live PvP is a thing. That is one heck of a win there, my friend. Alright. Let's look at the 7 sword alternate. EX skill power boost, enemy shooting power reduced. It's really easy to activate, blade category, but again, I'm not really so much a fan of the more support type traits. Up to you. Obviously the first trait is still very powerful. You're going to get a huge stat gain from this. I wouldn't do it, but if you want to, okay. You know, I guess reducing enemy shooting power as a melee machine is convenient, because typically you'll have more melee defense than shot defense as a melee build, but each to their own, right? With speed attribute, revive is 60%. So the torso is literally like, it just gets a set of guts. Considering I don't like the first trait very much, and I'm not really a fan of guts, it doesn't do it for me. But if it does it for you, again, you'll still have good stats out of it. Why not? Yeah, the defensive numbers took a huge jump on that. When buffed, melee power boosted, shot damage raised, melee power boosted. That is an amazing trade-off. You take 10% extra shot damage, ooh, just don't get hit, and you get a big fat 65% boost in total when you're buffed. Sure, but very easy to get buffs on these suits. So I'd say, yeah, this also gets my seal of, yeah, I'd do it. You get great stats, you got your nice word tags, you get your traits, bada bing, bada boom. All right, legs. Let's see those legs. Double saber shear. Yep, nope. Did not fix the problem. It is still double saber shear. I wouldn't do it, because this, in my opinion, is a huge waste of investing into a subpar EX skill, but each to their own. I wouldn't do it. Okay, backpack. The Buster combination, melee attack boost. Yeah, we went over this before. So much like the, not the Phenex backpack, the Phenex torso. If you don't really care too much about that extra 10% being lost out, go for it. You're still getting the great stats and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Weapons. What do we got? Job gauge increase, right? I don't like that at all. With melee power is boosted when you speed attribute. Speed attribute, very easy to activate. Melee power boosted, very good. I just don't like that first trait. I think it's a waste. I think it's a waste. But again, you do you. Don't let a random guy on the internet that's drinking alcohol tell you what to do with your life. Now, let's look at the big hunk of iron. Well, it's not really a big hunk of iron, I guess. The image looks like a big hunk of iron. You know, it looks almost like the Buster sword. But the weapon looks like a Nerf toy. Anyways, the Trans Am Razor Sword. A- power, nice. Raise your melee attack by 34%, nice. My sole complaint with this is that it is not a cutscene. It is a animation type. I mean, you are, again, setting yourself up to take a ton of damage. But if you're fine with that, you will get decent returns from this. You are looking at, yeah, it's not pretty much 9,800 melee attack. Your EX skill will hurt. It won't do a jaw-dropping amount of damage, but it will hurt. Yeah, I think personally there's better melee weapons to invest into than this. But yeah. The blaster. So then I started blasting. While close combat, EX skill power boosted. That's still good. When one enemy shot down, reduced cooldown. Okay, I will go over this as this is surprisingly actually the first time this showed up. So by setting the requirement to activate this to down one enemy, you've now immediately reduced a lot of the versatility. You can't use this in 1v1 arena anymore. You can't use this in multi-missions where there's only one enemy. You can't use this as any mission where there is a single enemy, bosses or stuff. But it will be good for the arena. It will be good for multi-enemy multi-missions, and story missions, potentially Inferno, if they ever bring that back, Battle Circuit as well, things like that. But you do lose some of the versatility from having to shoot down an enemy. So this is purely up to you whether or not you think that's good. The first trait is still nice. The second trait, a little more situational. So that's up to you. I can only do so much. I'm not going to hold your hand. Stat-wise, yeah, you're looking at significantly, lower than alternatives in the alteration category. So I would also say just in general, because you're losing out on a lot of stats and you have kind of a very situational EX skill in there, or trait, I wouldn't do it personally. I would sit on it. I would sit on your tools and wait. The long rifle, spooky. Yeah. So, Infighter, initial EX skill charge boosted. Okay, Infighter, very easy to get, and it's a nice activation point. The other one, when attacking with Beam, EX skill power boosted. There are beam melee skills, those are the ones that look like a beam sword, right? Physical melee is the fist, beam melee is the beam sword. So you can benefit from both of these at once, don't kid yourself. I would say that's a nice combination. Yeah. That's nice. Stat-wise, what are we looking at here? Wow, yeah, no, that, oof. Yeah. I would say this is one of those situationals. Because you're investing into this, you're spending a lot of the more limited resources on this to upgrade it. In doing so, you're giving yourself a pseudo 7-star ranged weapon. Lots of shot. But all of its usefulness is pointing towards melee. So, like, you do get a hefty amount of melee attack out of this. You're looking at about 1100-ish melee attack, which is nice. You get close combat out of it, which is nice. I don't know. Personally, I wouldn't, but I also would understand people that would. Let's put it like that. I would not invest in this, but I would understand if somebody did. I don't really know of a better way to phrase it. Okay, so gone over the lawfares. Gacha. The alteration. The event shop. Event blueprints. And then we'll look at the Twitter videos. Oh, right, the 2 new permanent alterations. Man can't win. Local man drowns. Alright, we got Alvaron, the Age 3, that's the Fortress, right? That's what the F is, Fortress? Yeah. And Savior. Cool. I didn't expect to see the Savior back so soon. Yeah, they're terrified of bringing back the crossbone. Because, yeah, that torso. Alright, cool. I don't remember any of these suits really having anything that made me go, yes. So, and again, my memory is really bad. You guys probably remember better than I do at this point. Anyways, let's go look at those 2 permanent alterations. Alright, the Gundam Legilis. There we go. With rifle category crit projectile speed boosted. Yeah. When attacking with beam, EX skill power boosted. Yeah. Unfortunately, the first one kind of kills it. Okay. Torso. Busta Beam. B. Not cutscene. No. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. There's no point really even talking about the stats on this. The 6-star stat distribution on permanent suits, it's good, like it's better than others, but you're pretty much looking at like either a almost Franken Sokai tier or approaching Sokai tier. I've yet to see one that's really excelled beyond that point. The Beam Vulcan, A-B, 11. Okay, cool. The B power is misleading to me. The Pierce is nice and more or less guarantees a stagger. The B power is nice because we know B power stuff hits hard. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if this one will. Four-star base suits cost less to alternate. Even if it costs less, though, is it still worth using, you know, limited tools on stuff that's like okay? It's originally a Pierce, so having it buffed to B means it's good. The problem is, though, we do have B power EX skills that just don't hit hard. That's kind of my issue, right? If it was consistent, that'd be fine. But it's not, which is my problem. Saying it's not a priority is putting it very, very nicely. Let's say we have a suit come out on Christmas or New Year's that has a limited time alteration and is actually top tier best in slot for shot and melee. It's literally a game breaker suit. Anyone that went and spent their alteration tools on any permanent stuff is now kicking themselves for it. A lot like the people that spent their alteration tools to get the Exia back as soon as we got access to alteration, and then literally like the week after, they're like, oh man, here's full armor unicorn and all that fun stuff. Limited alteration, no one was expecting this. It's the same idea, right? You save it and you use it when something undeniably good comes rolling along. Otherwise, you might regret it. Might being the key word, right? You're taking a gamble. Alright, let's look at the likes. With Saber category equipped, EX skill CD reduced. Very easy to get yourself a Saber. Okay. With technique attribute self. Enemy EX skill power reduced. I've already said my bit on support type traits. At least it's easy to activate. Backpack. Come on. The Gundam Legilis. E plus power, A. 3 seconds. Okay, so this just falls into the same quandary I have with the arms. We have B power EX skills that don't do enough damage to warrant using them. So just blanket saying if it's B power it must be good, I'm always like hesitant to say that. There's some scenarios where you look at it and go, oh yeah, this sounds really good on paper. You don't know until you use the damn thing, which is the unfortunate problem, right? Plus, at the same time, I would still say investing in alterating a Sokai part that does the same function is a better investment than this, because you still get the higher stat pool. Oh? I think they mean 7 magazine, not 10. Yeah, so the way that magazines work, typically at level 1, it'll have 4 magazines, and when you level it up to EX10, it'll bump up to 7. Once you alternate the part, its base becomes 8, and its maximum becomes 11. So it just kind of shifts that spectrum over. So if you have a level 1 EX part and you alternate it, it gets an 8 magazine right away, right? So don't feel bad, I removed for composite shield and FA missiles. Everyone builds their own way. Anyways, where did I leave off? The Legilis rifle. So if you think that B power in general means it's going to hit like a truck, the arms in the back are definitely for you. I'm still going to say sit on the tools and just wait, because temporary gains, as nice as they are, just kind of poison you in the future, and they kind of kneecapping yourself. At least, if you're a general player and don't have access to a plethora of the alteration tools. Legilis rifle, what are we looking at here? With technique attribute, initial EX skill charge boost, and beam range weapon magazine boosted. I've already made my stance known on magazine boosts earlier in the video. So, bada bada boom. First trait's good, the second one I don't think it is. The Legilis bits, B plus A. See what I just said before about B power stuff. That's pretty much all I gotta say about it. Because I know people were hyping up like the Cubily bits because it went up to like B power and they're like, oh man, it's gonna hit great. And they weren't wrong. Every hit did a good amount of damage. Unfortunately, they suffer from the funnel problem where they just don't friggin' fire enough to make it worthwhile. Right, then you got things like the Moon Backpack, where it doesn't need to fire a bunch because each hit is doing like an EX skill damage in and of itself, right? So, I've said this before, my biggest issue with the shot-based bits and funnels is that they're not aggressive enough. Like the Kshatriya ones are extremely aggressive. They fire a ton of shots and they do a good amount of damage. If I had the ability to alternate those and upgrade the rank, it would actually be vicious. But I look at the new backpack, right? I look at the Cubily bits. I look at these things and they just don't fire off enough to really make the investment worth it, to me, right? If they did more damage, like a lot more damage, cool. If they fired more often, fine. But they don't. That's my pickle. That's the rub, you dig? So again, yeah. This is not actually a funnel skill though. This is a more like a fire and forget kind of thing. 15 seconds initial cooldown, 60 seconds cooldown after that. So I'm pretty sure that is a cutscene, is it not? If it's a cutscene B+, cool. It's not, maybe? Maybe. No, it's not. What a trap. Is it because the Moonback's a melee type funnel? You know what? I actually don't know why the Moon Backpack hit so friggin' hard. Because in terms of like power and pierce, it matches other stuff. But it just hits a lot friggin' harder. Right? Like it has A power, but we've seen other things with A power in the shot pool. It just doesn't do as much. So, yeah. Those letters are weird, man. Anyways. Again, this is one of those scenarios where if you think that B power is, the be all end all and it means the thing is going to be good, go for it. I don't think it does, but I've been wrong about many things in the past. So you do you. Go with your gut. And the new Gundam. Oh, was this the launch Verka? No, I'm thinking High New Verka. Am I pulling? Yes, after I've finished going over these new suits, I'm going to hop in and do a couple of rolls. With speed attribute, EX skill pierce boost, when attacking the beam, EX skill power boost. Power boost, nice. Pierce boost, eh. EX Pierce, from what I understand, gives you a higher chance to stagger your enemies. So if you think that's good, that's the part for you. But again, this does not guarantee it. This just gives you a % chance. You'd have to do a decent amount of investing to get 100%. When attacking with beam, shooting power boosted. Nice. When armor is 60% or more, boost funnel uptime. So, to go back into the funnel thing that I was talking about, even if you... Okay, so how to best put this? If I had a choice between using a cutscene EX skill or a general use EX skill that was a quick wham bam does your damage, call it a day, or use funnels, which do more or less the same amount of damage over like 7 times the period of time, why would I do that? If you do it in arena, you're lowering your score. You do that in multi-mission, you potentially risk getting your shit absolutely blown up. Same goes for Inferno missions and things like that. Having that quick access high nuke, nah. The funnel uptime is not inherently bad. The problem is, because funnels, again, just aren't as active as they should be, problem. And because the first trait doesn't really feed into a melee build, using this with like the moon backpack, you're kind of gimping yourself. You'll still get the stats, but you're not really going to get use out of that first trait, which is a shame. Arms. What are the arms? Ah, the beam saber combo. Yes, no, that is not a good EX skill. Again, you're locking yourself into an animation where you're crossing your fingers and hoping the enemy does not delete you. And that's even if you connect in the first place. Stats are good though. Whatever that's worth. Alright, the legs. When armor is 40% or more, EX skill cooldown reduced. Very easy to keep your armor above 40%. With rifle category equipped, EX skill power boosted. So not only are you reducing the cooldowns on your EX skills, but you're boosting their power. I'd say that's actually a pretty healthy combination. Comes with a very decent chunk of stats. Cool. Nice. Backpack. The fin funnels. Yeah, A+, B+. So again, just go back to what I was talking about earlier with funnels and stuff. EX Pierce also increases your damage because it bypasses some more defense and res. Yeah, but again, instead of directly boosting your damage, you're changing it over to gambling to try to do more damage per hit. If you fail, you're doing less damage than if you had invested in guaranteed, and if you succeed, cool. But if you average 1 out of 4 shots is going to do an extra 20% damage, why not just increase your damage so that you're doing that extra 20% anyways? Don't forget, the damage formula is not linear. It's not a gamble. So, EX skill, Pierce, whatever, you boost it by 22%. Right? A chance to boost by 22%. Not everything's going to pierce. That's the problem. If everything pierced, doesn't. Anyways. Fin funnels. A+, B+. So this falls onto each individual player. Again, you think, good go for it. I really don't have too much to say about it. I like funnels. I really like the Kshatriya funnels. I like the Moon backpack. All the other funnels at launch were very nice because we had a lot less armor. But now with our armor and values inflated crazily high in arena, yeah. EX skill pierce is only useful when defense is higher than attack, like the current arena. Even then though, you don't always pierce on your attacks. You only pierce on, certain ones. Actually, let me double check here. Let me just go double check the wording on it. That wasn't it. Where did I see it? Was that the... torso. No, it's somewhere in here. If you're talking about just the letter, yeah, EX skill piercing boosted. So, yeah, right, it's not a chance. I'm thinking crit. The alcohol's having fun with me. Anyways, EX skill piercing boost. So if you have an ability that is, let's say, A pierce, and you equip something that gives you 28% more pierce. The problem is, we don't actually know what the value is for piercing. So this is more of an intangible boost, because you don't actually know how much it's going to affect anything. If we had numbers, instead of these letter representations, which seem to kind of change depending on the part and the EX skill and everything like that, it'd be a lot more understandable. If we had a mind formula or something like that to actually play with and punch these numbers in, nice. The best we can do right now is just kind of throw ourselves against enemies and hope that our guesses are correct. So, I think we spent too much time talking about fin funnels. Yeah, but if I don't talk about the fin funnels, people will keep bringing it up. So you just kind of gotta buckle up and do it, you know? With speed attribute, strong melee power boosts by 30%, shot damage raise, EXL power boost. So strong melee power refers to the last hit of your melee combo, you know, that big swing that you do. It's not amazing, obviously, because it only counts for one part of a melee combo, it doesn't feed into EX skills or anything. The second one's nice, though. Take 10% more shot damage, you get a nice fat EX skill. Oh, excuse me. Get a nice big fat EX skill power boost. But again, you know, I don't think the first trait's very good, so I don't think it's worth investing into. And beam rifle, when armor's 40% more, yeah. Again, the second trait on this is awesome. First trait, not so much. When they finally give us the ability to start mix and matching these, it'll be a good day. Until then, though, and now that's nice, though. That actually does break 10k after full mods, and that's in the permanent pool, too. So, food for thought. And, oh yeah, we have the new Hyper Bazooka and the shield. Those are the last two things to check for the new. The Dual Cascade, B+A. I've talked enough about B+ power skills at this point, so I'm not going to keep going. Yeah. It's nice to know that the weapons in the permanent pool are actually breaking 10k now. That's nice. With rifle category, enemy shooting power reduced. And reload speed boost. Neither of those, in my opinion, are very good. You obviously get a nice big stat boost, but outside of that... Okay. Very interesting modifications. Now, I'm actually curious here, because like, is this not the suit? Yeah, no, this has to be the suit that launched with us, right? The new No, because the torso's not that. Where is it? I completely forget now. My brain is clearly not functioning correctly. I'm curious where it was the High New Verka that we had at launch, right? It was the High New Verka. I have one in my inventory. I'm not going to be able to rest until I double check this. Sort by date reversal. Yep, new Verka. Okay, cool. I may actually upgrade the rifle then, because that gives me a 10k weapon. Okay, well, food for thought for me. So what is this 1500 back to you campaign? You throw me right into the gacha. I see how it is. Is there any notice about it? Is it under Thanksgiving campaign? No. There it is. We will give back 1500 Haro to all players who spend 1500 or more Haro. So do a 10 roll, get a 10 roll back. I like it. Okay. So, we're going to quickly switch back to desktop. And wow, I just realized how out of whack my camera is. I just realized how slanted it was sitting on my desktop there. That's a little better. We're going to hop over to the desktop. We're going to look at the Twitter videos. Then we'll come back. We'll do some gacha. Everyone loves the gacha, right? There's the Phenex. There's the whatchamahoosit. God, that music is always so friggin' deafening. Okay. Where's my desktop button? There's my desktop button. Yay. Okay. So, let's look at suit number 1. The Phenex. Yeah, so it's exactly the same. Oh, okay, that little attack on the end is different, but the rest of it's the same. There's the NTD in the torso, which gives it the blue hue, and then the backpack. Okay, that's a little extra at the end there, I think. The giant wings, but it looks cool. Alright, let's look at the other one. Helps if I hit the play button. Alright, the 7 Sordo. Yeah, so it's pretty much the Epion sword. That looks really familiar. Where have we seen that before, I wonder? That's a real thinker, guys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Quanta. Anyways, that was pretty interesting, actually. I really do like the animations behind the Phenex. I will say that. That back EX is pretty cool. So what we're gonna do now is we gonna roll. So what we're gonna do, should turn the sound on. That actually requires a lot of extra work on my end because I still don't know if the desktop audio is balanced correctly. So anyways, so I'll do the 150 roll on the Thanksgiving exclusive. And then I will probably do this because this has a nice, healthy 3-step thing set up here. What are my freebies in this anyways? Cool. Okay, so let's start from the top, eh? Let's see what my 150 yields. Hey, Sukiya. Oh wow, I got a gold. Who could have foreseen this? It's a weapon. What did I get? Are you serious right now? Okay. Okay. Sure. We take those. Interesting. Okay. 1 round only and it's still here. Haha. Big Kuso. Okay. So actually, how many materials do I need for the build project? It should have been under event blueprint, right? No? Oh yeah, there he is. Oh, right. Oh, hey, we got heavy arms. We have the Moon Gundam again, so if you missed the backpack, now is the time, and the Force Impulse. Cool. So I need 10 material bees. I definitely don't have enough for 10 multis. Yet. What do we got here? So... Okay. Well, let's do the gacha, and we'll come back to that in a moment. It's Canadian, so for Americans, it's probably more like $80-something. Okay, well, let's, let's go. Oof. Part of me wants to hit the skip, but I also know that purples can turn gold in this. We saw that happen before. Oh, thanks for the sub. Nice, more and more blues. All the blue. Come on, give me the good stuff, damn it. Is that the heavy arms torso? It's actually kind of funny. Alright, next one. Blues and purples will convert even if you skip. Yeah, that's not the thing though. I like watching the rolls if I'm able to. Blues, yeah, that's a skip. Alright, step 3 guaranteed something, did it not? Alright, what do we got? We got the gun. You are not what I want. Or green. And so are you. I don't want you either. Did I just get like one thing that wasn't green in this roll? I'm pretty sure I only got one thing that wasn't green in this roll. This is friggin' vicious. Nothing but greens all the way down. Oh, there we go, there's a blue. Ah, there's my gold. Hey, Phenex torso. Nice. Alright. And that was the 1 out of 1 loops you're allowed on that, right? Yeah. Okay. So, now to roll the non-guarantee. And I still get my thing from you, right? Yes, I do. So let's do 3 more rolls on this, and then obtain more currency. Blue skip. Purple. Part of me wants to hit skip, but we'll go through. Did you get back 1500? I'll check after this. I was going to do all my rolls first before going to check. I don't know if it's instantaneous or not. I didn't really read too much of the notice, just that you get 1500 back. There's my purple. Is it the X2? X1. X1 Kai Kai. Oh, it's next week. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okie doke. Let's do another one. Let's hit skip. Oh, it's a good thing I hit skip. That would have been a terrible roll to watch. Alright, the X2. So, that puts me at 6 total rolls. So I need to do 4 more for the shop. So, unfortunately, you guys don't get to see this part. Where's my... There it is. I'm just gonna hand wave. You don't need to see anything, gentlemen. How long does this thing take to friggin' process? Oh my god. There we go. It actually did take its sweet friggin' time processing that through my processor. PayPal's getting slow. Talking bad about part of the suit makes your luck bad. I wish it was that easy, frankly. Okay. I summon you back. Alright, gentlemen. We're in this for 4 more rolls. Because after that I have enough for a Mr. Banager. It'd be nice to get the back, because the backpack I think aesthetically looks really cool with the EX skill. Beyond that though, I got the torso already, and I'm actually kind of happy with that. Ah, the Master Gundam back. If I get a gold, I'm going to watch the whole animation, but if I see purple or less, it's just going to be a skip. Purple. Shenlong. Okay. Third roll. Come on, man. Scathing. Alright. There we go. Okay, let's see what we got. The only reason I'm rolling this much is because I do want to get Banager and, you know, get them all improved and whatnot. So I'll happily do the 10 to get them, but beyond that, not really. The Phenex is a cool suit, but not enough to make me really want to invest heavily into it, so. We got the torso. Oh, another. Was this the Phenex torso again? Really? Okay. The way the cookie crumbles. Whatever. I can always get the backpack later when a bullseye comes around or something like that, so I'm not terribly concerned. We get a blue. A big blue. Another big blue. Nah, that should be the last part, yeah? No. There was a green still hiding in the wings. Where does this roll end? Pull for the gun. No, I don't want to pull anymore. I've already put enough into this as it is. And it leaves me with a healthy remainder going into Christmas and New Year's. So I have 10 multis at minimum sitting around, which will be quite nice. So, no complaints from me. Huh. Interesting. Oh yeah, right, I got a whole bunch of those 10 roll things. I should probably use those too while we're here, right? Might as well. Torso is good, so he gets 2. Yeah, it does really seem like that, doesn't it? Whoops. Can you join my multi-mission once? I highly doubt it. I've had a real issue playing with people on multi-mission because I'm on the Asia server. If you're on the global North American server, no dice, unfortunately. Oh, okay. Well, maybe. Hop in the Discord after the stream ends. I can probably join you for a single game. Probably. Yeah, I should have enough time for one. Alright. Got some 4-star tickets. If we wait until Bullseye, alteration for the Phenex will be over. The thing to remember, these limited time alterations will most likely come back. Eventually. We don't know when, we don't know in what form, but I really hope that these are not one-time things they're doing to really push the whole limited time pressure on us, because, you know, they need to recoup any losses made because of the current world events and whatnot. I'm gonna hold faith that they're gonna come back in some form later on. So, is it still worth even if you can't alternate it? The stats are still good. It's still a Sokai suit. As for whether or not, you know, it's ultra top tier, not really. Neither of the suits are. But yeah. Still a good suit. So that's that. Did I get my full set capsule? Oh yeah, I did. Cool. Limited time, but it doesn't say how many times it's limited. Yeah, it depends on how you want to read into it. Oh, Zaku 2. Can I get a purple off this as a lull? No, I just got blues. Blues all day. As God intended. And, oh yeah, 4-star full set. Let's go. I'm just using all the tickets. The Force Impulse. Alright, cool. That's a piece of box art. 7 times in a row for blue pulls is something. It is. It is. I think Sukiya still has me beat, though. So. I was playing GDW right now. Yeah, a lot of us are actually. Right after patch, we hop on and play and whatnot. I do this stream, and then after the stream ends, I typically start building my suits, and then I wait until the next day when my stamina is refilled. Okay. So, looking at this, I think that's really it. Yeah. That was done. The good stuff was done. Okay, cool. So, with that, guys, I've done everything I needed to. I will hop into the Discord voice chat for a little bit because somebody mentioned they want to do multi-missions. Other than that, I will see you guys either later this week with another video or Sunday for my normal discussion of the new content. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. If you enjoyed the content, all that fun stuff, you know, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. All that. Anyways, peace out, guys, and I'll see you later.